And lastly, we have section 4.D.3, one more word problem. These are titled value problems because the question, as we'll see, is about the value of the items themselves being unknown. And so, let's see what we got here. A Math 094 student, after a long exam over chapters 3 and 4, well, that's coming up soon here, goes to the bar, which I guess you all will not be doing as we're currently in shelter in place. So you'll go to the bar later, I guess, and has some drinks with a friend, hopefully 6 feet apart. One of them had 3 beers and 3 mixed drinks and had a bill of $24. The other had 5 beers and 2 mixed drinks and had a bill of $25. Based on this, how much did a beer cost and how much did a mixed drink cost? And more importantly, do they have enough money left for a taxi? I guess we won't really be answering that last question as we don't have the information necessary. But let's focus on this stuff up here. So, after reading, let's get to that U step, the unknowns step. Well, as we read through it, read through it multiple times if you have to, but the question, how much did a beer cost and how much did a mixed drink cost? There are 2 unknowns, right? So the cost or value, or I'll just use the money symbol here, the cost of a beer and the cost of a mixed drink. Those are our 2 unknowns. So that's supposed to be my U step. And then my V step immediately following is to say 2 unknowns, so column X and Y. So now let's get to the equations part. So for these problems, the value problems, it's actually very straightforward where these come from. And when you realize you're in a problem like this, it's just the interpreting of each sentence, because each sentence gives a different scenario. This second sentence here, one of them, so one person, had 3 beers and 3 mixed drinks and had a bill of $24. So that's telling you 3 beers and 3 mixed drinks will cost $24. The next sentence is telling you 5 beers and 2 mixed drinks will cost $25. Well, we know how to refer to the thing we don't know, the price of a beer and the price of a drink, mixed drink. So this is almost like the opposite of the coin problems we did in the last section, where we knew what the value of a coin was, but we didn't know how many there were. Now we know how many beers and mixed drinks give us a certain bill, but we don't know the value of them. So, very similar approach to those equations. To say that 3 beers and 3 mixed drinks cost $24, to say 3 beers, I could say 3 beers times whatever the price of a beer is, 3x. That is the amount of money spent on beers. 3 beers at X dollars per beer. Add to that the 3 mixed drinks with each one costing Y, 3 times Y, total amount of money spent on mixed drinks, and that has to give us that bill of $24. And we can use that exact same process on the very next sentence, 5 beers and 2 mixed drinks. So 5 beers times X dollars per beer plus 2 mixed drinks times Y dollars per mixed drink. That will give us a bill of $25. And there we have our system of equations, just like that. So, time to solve them. In this case, I would say let's go again with elimination. They're already lined up, x's and y's equals constants. Also, we don't have one that's immediately solvable for a variable. You could, but we're going to stick with elimination again. So, with elimination, we again pick our x's or our y's to end up with the same coefficient value but opposite signs. Again, think LCD, 3 and 5 would have a LCD of 15, right? They both go into 15. 3 and 2 would have an LCD of 6. So let's go with that just because it's a much smaller number. Now this means we'll be changing both of these numbers because we need them both to be 6. And remember, we need one of them to be negative. So let's go ahead and do this first one here. Multiply by, I need this to be multiplied by a 2 to make it a 6, but let's get rid of this negative before we forget. And so we'll make this one, the one we multiply by a negative 2, take a negative 6x minus 6y equals negative 48. Now that's the negative 6x, or y. We want this to be the positive 6y, so we will multiply this entire equation, multiply by just a 3, and get 15x plus 6y, and that will give us 75. All right, now we can combine the x's there, combining them gives us 9x. The y's cancel completely, and negative 48 plus 75 comes out to a 27. And with that, we have one step left to solve for x. Divide both sides by 9 and get our x equals 3. Once we have x equals 3, we will go back to either equation. Doesn't matter which one. I'll just go back to the second one since it's here on the bottom. And we will replace the x in that second equation with that 3. So that second equation looks like that. Do that multiplication. Keep solving for y. We'll move the 15 over there. So 2y equals 10. Divide both sides by 2. Get y equals 5. Oops. There we go. And from there, we've got our x, we've got our y. And after having solved it, we go to answer it. And the question, the real question, asks for the price of a beer and a mixed drink. We have those right there. X is our beer, y is our mixed drink. So to answer that, we can say a beer costs $3 and a mixed drink costs that 5, so $5.